Dun, dun, dun. All right. Am I back? Okay, thanks. I'm back apparently. All right, so it looks like what happened, which is still affecting up. This will probably crash again. Okay, maybe I'll just go fix this rather than have it crash again. Okay, and I'm gonna have to kill OBS again. Okay, and we're back. Sorry, everybody. There wasn't the network connection. It was. So I'm recording to an SD card. I probably need to switch it up. So I'm recording to an SD card because the drive gets full. But the problem with recording to the SD card is it doesn't do well with sustaining that level of writes. Occasionally there's a small hiccup, and it's too much for it. And I don't know if it's the fault of the SD card or if it's the fault of you're doing it wrong, AJ. I think I kind of want to side on the latter, but because it's a Silicon Power SD card, which is a brand I really like. But one of these days I'll get a Mac Studio, and then that problem will pretty much go away. Anyway, so I got the C++ tools installed. Oh, interesting. Disk unmount force is not working. Sudo disk mount? Disk util unmount force? That's weird. I might just have to pry that thing right on out. Okay. So, let's see what's going on here. This is part B. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and a quick note. How long is the Mario movie? One hour and a half. Good. That's not too bad. Okay, 92 minutes. That's good. That's a good amount of time for a kid's movie. Okay, so what was I going to do next? So I was going to try to run build. I probably need to run a bunch of things. Dang it! Okay, the problem... We got a couple of problems here. So Go... Was it Go mod vendor is broken? So I cannot run it... So here's the crazy part. I have to run these basically in 3 phases. I'm just going to get rid of this. And get rid of this. And get rid of this. I don't know why. That was so stupid. Why did I do that? So for some reason, I don't understand why, but this cannot be run in a script. So I have to run gomod tidy and gomod vendor separately. Whoops. Oh no! I got the wrong version, didn't I? Oh. Oh, I need a different version of Go. Alright, so let me scratch that idea. There's things I'm still learning about Alpine. And how to get things to work on Alpine like we would want them to work on Alpine. So I'm going to try it. See, you always get these old versions. I don't want that. All right, are we done yet? We're done. So there's something messed up with the build tooling, and for some reason I cannot run these things in a script the way that you'd expect, the way that I'd expect. So I need to go mod vendor. That we should be able to run. All of that. Okay. Okay, that seemed like that did not take enough time. Did it work? Okay, Ben SQL C generate. Okay, let's try this. Oh, I'm on the wrong branch. Duh. Let's get on the right branch. Okay. Come on. All right, I was expecting this to be a little bit faster, because this should be pegging CPUs pretty hard. Let me click over here on this. It's basically doing nothing. All those threads in for what? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have added so many in the first place. Seriously, what is this doing? Why is it taking so long? What's the problem here? Are any of these pegged up at 100 or anything? GCC, is it not doing parallelization properly? I mean, it looks like everything's just idling. I built this VPX for this moment. Okay, this is not going to work. I should have anticipated this. And the worst part is that this is something that I'm not even using. I wish I could just get... This dependency isn't even used. This is just a garbage dependency. Maybe I can just delete it? I don't know why it's being built. Okay, so never mind. That's not going to work. We're gonna get out of here. All right, I'm going to create another system, and it's going to be called CGO build. But I need to update my provision script. Or temporarily alter it, rather. And there wasn't a lot of drive space. How much am I allocating for these? So I'm going to allocate this with... Okay. My RAM equals 8192. But normally this would be 512. And my cores will normally be 2, but in this case we're going to make it 8. Okay. Okay, so my OS template. I don't actually have the template set up properly yet, though. I don't even know if it has SSH enabled by default. So we'll see what happens. CGO build. I think that Alpine is not using the SH, but Ash. So SH is fictional. SH describes a capability, not a shell. So SH means a POSIX shell. That's what SH means. So the actual shells are different. So there is Ash, there's Dash, there's KSH. but there's a variety of different shells which are POSIX shells. Whoops. ZSH is not POSIX, fish is not POSIX. So SH just means a POSIX shell. So I think the problem is that, let's see, with I think I'm not correctly detecting the right version of Go. Webby doesn't have enough build information to get the right version of Go, I think is the problem. I could be wrong, but I think that it seems like Go all on its own should just work, because I don't think Go depends on libc or any of that. It just depends on Go. It's self-hosted, as they say. All right, let's go to config, and then we're going to just update this with cgo build. So it looks like we do have a problem. So I'm going to have to solve this by going in. I don't have all the build stuff set up for our VPXs yet. But we're going to have an Ubuntu VPX and an Ubuntu and a Alpine and Ubuntu VPXs, I think, are all we're going to have. What was this, 113? 113. Ah, yes. So this did not actually create the app user. Yeah, so this, I need to set up the Ubuntu image as well. And there's a couple of updates I need to make to the Alpine image. So that's getting set up. So this will be here shortly. It only depends on bin utils. Bin utils. I think that those would it actually, but that doesn't exist on Windows. So that it may be that there's some common stuff that it wants from there, but I don't think it actually depends on bin utils. Okay, so and was there fish? So need fish. Okay, cool. So now I should be able to get in. All right, so there we go with the pub key. Let me get rid of that, actually. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. No, thank you. There we are. All right, so let that get going. And let's see. I think I need to do anything over here. All right, so I need to get that on my docket to get the Ubuntu image. And there's a lot of stuff about Alpine that I need to figure out. I think that basically there's kind of a threshold. Once you get to the point where you need a C compiler, Alpine is probably no longer the correct choice. So Ubuntu for dev, Alpine for deploy. All right, we good to go? Let's add that there. SSH pub key. All right, I'm going to go grab that. I'm going to put it in the right place. Okay. So now we're going to go back to, if I can go clone this again. I lost the page I was on. Give me a quick second. Or a long second. You know, whatever kind of second it takes, I guess. Okay. Let me get back to that repository. Going to sleep? All right, have a good one. Yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you again. Do. Okay, added the deploy key. Yeah, okay, what? Where did the tab go that I added the deploy key in then? Whatever. Alright, so git clone. There we go, yes. Alright, here we go. Did I already say that 1,600,000 times? Is that burning your ears from me saying that yet? Here we go, here we go, here we go. But we're still not going. We're still standing still. What happened? Okay. Go mod tidy. Do all that. Echo. Go mod tidy. Go mod vendor. And I may need to go in just a little bit here. Dang it. So I haven't deployed yet. It's okay. I'll come back. We'll get more done. Okay, that finished. So now I'll run the rest of this. Let's see if this works this time. And if that works this time. Okay. And this. And then SQL C generate. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, build again. That's not right. How did that go so wrong? Probably because if for some reason it probably thinks it's a Go file because there's Go in the name. I don't know what's going on there. Uh-oh, something's up with my computer. I'm going to have to restart it. Not right now. Okay. And block the bot. Nope, that's wrong. What was going on there? Oh, it's screen. I gotta figure out what that was about. This is a pain in the butt, this part. It's kind of weird that it's using so few resources generally. Seems like it should do more. CGO enabled equals 1. What is going on? Missing end if. I wonder if a bad version of Vimeo just dropped or something. It seems like it must have. Okay. Oh. Oh, dang. All right. Oh, that's done. Okay. Oops. Sorry. I got. You know how it is. Stuff's building. Start doing something else. Okay. Let that build. Interesting. While that's generating, I'm looking at tickets for Mario. Oh, it finished. Yay. Okay, good. All right. What else do I need to do then? I guess I didn't really need to run that because what is going on? Let me find out what version of Ale I have locally. And I think there just must be a bad version of Vim Ale. I'm going to figure that out real quick. Going into Vim Pack plugin, start here on my local computer. Going into Ale, and then just running a git log to see which version this was at. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, and then just go into Vim, Pack, Plugins, Start, Ale, git log. That's interesting. It's the same version. So why would I be having so much trouble right now? It's saying that it can't find plugins and stuff. Something somewhere. This is not good. All right, something somewhere's up. Anyway. URL cannot be empty. Okay, so I'm going to double check here locally what I have in my file. Okay. Oh, a call I need to take real quick. I'll be right back. Um, Just a second. Okay. Okay, if I've got all of that done, where was I was just trying to look at my environment file to see what all do I have set for this thing. Over here. Is there any new option we've added? I don't think we've added any new options. I think everything should be the same old, same old. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, all right, now I've got my Seago build server. Huzzah. So when I need to Seago build something, I can Seago build it. What am I going to do now? I think I'm going to copy that over. So we're going to copy this from Seago build API v2 reports v2, and I'm just going to copy that to temp for a second. Why is that so big? Go binaries aren't what they used to be. 12 megabytes. Holy day. OC remix. And this is going to go... Okay, there we are. Hold on. I need to go test... Or not test. I need to go change something real quick. There we go. Wait, what? All right, that's just here. I'm just gonna put this over in... No? I'm in the right place, aren't I? A little confused. Oh, duh. All right. All right, system D. Okay, so now after all that rigmarole, I believe I've successfully deployed this. So now let's just test. Oh, you know what this needs? Here's another thing it needs. I need to have a version built into this, and I don't know if I have that. Let me check. Okay, what was it? Version. There we go. I need to add a version onto this. And I think that it's going to be something of this nature. And then actually what I think I'll do is I'll probably put this out in 2 places. There we go. That way it's just easy to find. And then I guess this might as well just, it's probably fine. Hold on. I think I said everything under here, everything under API, I'm pretty sure the content type is set to JSON. Yeah, add JSON header. Everything under API gets the JSON header. So I could change the header, and I could say text plain on this one. Or we could just make it really well formed. I don't know. And then I forgot exactly how I do this, but it's something like var version string or var version equals 0.1.0. Okay. Yeah, we want to have some sort of way to know what the version is. Okay, that's good. And then when we use go releaser, we'll change that up. Okay. So this kind of has a few different steps. One is SQL C. And I'm building SQL C from source because reasons. Because I like to have the specific version locked in. And so SQL C is actually versioned here. And it gets built as part of the Go build process. So it's in my tools, you can see here I have SQL C, I have mod vendor, and I have migrate. So I don't like to run Go tools as binaries when they're part of a dev process. I like them to be built from a locked version so that I know that I'm getting exactly that the Go tooling uses the Go tooling to define its versioning rather than using an external system. Okay, so we've got that. And this is just a placeholder value because this will be replaced. Oh. And let me go check real quick. Holy moly. Seriously, I've got hundreds of tabs open. Oops. All right. Okay. Okay, version bytes. Okay, but I'm not using that right now anyway. So what I'm going to do is we can do savvy get, and then we can... what am I going to do? One thing I want to see if this works, actually. What if I do... This is a different question. Request is malformed. User sessions. The authorization token is missing or does not grant access to an organizational account. I don't know what that would be about. Hold on. Savvy. There we go. So that does not revoke them. Okay, that's something I need to fix. That's a side quest. But what was I going to do? I was going to say get, and then we're going to do v2, and then what? I don't think I'm going to have anything related to my account, but let's just check this out anyway. It would be... Let's just start with hello. And what's under... What's under public party roles? So let's try this. Okay. I also need this to print out the curl. I need to have something like -- curl and have it print out what the curl equivalent is or what the fetch is. I should be able to do... Yeah, I'm gonna make a task for that. I'm just documenting what I expect to accomplish here. So it'd be savvy. so what I want to have is something like this. That's what we're going to get to with that tool. All right, so with this one, I just need to check to make sure that things were actually deployed. So I should be able to do a me records. I think that's going to be empty though. Well, let's just see that it doesn't have an error. I think I see where this might be going wrong. So that doesn't... What's the quickest way to fix this? I think the quickest way to fix this, to kind of make a workaround for this, is to do URL rewriting. So we're going to do... Okay, API v2. And then let's add some other ones here. What do we have for this? Sudo public org. There we go. That's probably the easiest way to go about it. For a quick sudo system control restart caddy. Whoops. Okay, good. All right, so next step is, let's try this again. Not a trusted issuer. So let me go fix that then. Whoops, not SE. Home. And then I'm going to need to check out the environment file over here, off screen. Okay, not there. check out what that is real quick. Secret is just database, right? Yeah, database. Okay, so we've got the PG connection here, right? Okay, looks like I'm just missing some of the environment stuff. Okay, that's there. So database URL is there. But let's see if the issuers are here. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. So I just added that issuer to the OIDC whitelist. No rows and result set. That's not so bad. Oh, whoops. Account. Let's take a peek here. Org records. And let me go check how I was doing that again. Count v2 records should go to v2 org records. So let's see. Hey everybody, how's it going? Feel free to ask questions about Go or JavaScript or life, the universe, and everything. How y'all doing? What's up, chat? Okay, so no, not Etsy. I'm gonna go into I did say API account v2. Did I get that right? Let me go check on something else real quick. Is it accounts? We've got guest, we've got public, we've got unlisted. Got user. We've got webhooks. Okay, there's a user. And where's account? Might have just put the wrong thing. Account versus accounts. Yeah, it is account. It is account. That's right. Okay, that's what I thought. API account v2 API org whatever. So what we have is records that is implemented. So we should be able to get that. That shouldn't be a 404. Unless I... It could be, I think it should be a no records error, but it might be coming back as a 404. Let's see, why would that be? But that looks right. And let's see, I think there was one other thing I needed to update over here. Let me make sure. I wish I knew where in the process it's getting that 404, because that 404 doesn't make sense. See this one? Okay. Let me try something else as well. Oh! Let's see. Oh, 14, I guess, is the... What? Dang it! What's going on here? I can't get a specific enough user. Because there are too many users. Okay, I need to fix that. There we go. Okay. So test user there. So now what happens if I try to get records? Wait. That's not what I wanted. Okay, I need to have that impersonate work better. But I should probably, let's see. I'll go back to this. I should select 5. Why am I getting page not found on that? Is that something I put in? I mean, okay. What if I just try to get that route directly, though? org list records, right? It's orgs records API org records, right? So if I run account v2 records, that should get remapped to API org records. Let's see. Can I get your opinion on something? Oh my goodness. Of course you can. Who should go first? Would you like my opinion first? Or do you want to tell me about something first? I'll start. My opinion is don't ask to ask. There's even a website for it. Look. Don't ask to ask.com. Don't ask to ask. Just ask. When a user-facing application spits out logs, do you think it should output to standard out or standard error? I need more context. I'm assuming this is CLI, because we're talking about standard out and standard error. And I'm assuming that it's not something that is going to be handled by the system logger, because it's a user's shell. I don't know. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to rebuild and redeploy with the version information stuff so that at the very least I can get a version. And I need to have an inspect at each level. So let me add that real quick. So we're going to have some sort of way at each level to inspect the token, just kind of a hello, this worked. Interesting. Wait, why do I have multiple token verifiers? I don't think I actually need multiple of these, do I? Isn't this the same one? Okay, that's exactly the same. And my guess is that this one's the same too. So this is something that I meant to take out, but I forgot. Okay, good. I'm getting it now. Okay, why do we have this one? Again, it's the exact same thing. Okay. So I actually didn't need multiple instances of that. That's fine. I've never turned on debug flags before and had them dumped to standard error, which makes a bugger to pipe around. No, I had a booger, not a bugger. Let's see, I've never turned on debug flags before. Yeah, to me, it depends on the nature of how you expect someone to use it. I use standard error as debug info or error info. If you're expecting it to go through the pipe, I mean, I would say this. Standard error is for when the program exits and you don't want what's being captured by the program. So think of Unix. You're piping output from one program to another. The output that you're generating, would you want it generally to be piped to another program? If yes, standard out. If it's something that is fatal or something that is debug information that you wouldn't want piped to another program, then standard error. So if this is going to cause things to crash and exit, standard error. And then the idea would be that the information about why it crashed and failed would be printed on the screen. Even if it was being piped to another application. All right, what does the sudoers inspect about? I think I'm just going to rename this to success. Let's see, what does this do? Ah, yeah, this is the endpoint. Got it. And I'd kind of like the auth success to see if there is a token and to give back the basic information rather than just giving me success raw. Okay, type auth success data struct user ID org ID It's going to be string. It's going to be string. And then what else? There we go. That's what I want. Var result auth success data. So as ID, by ID, okay. Say okay 1, okay 2, okay 3. If okay 1 or okay 2 or okay 3, then results is equal to auth. Let's see. Okay, there we are. Right. And then we've got the result there, and we're all good. Everything's fairies and rainbows. Okay. More of a standard error for errors and errors only. Nah, I like standard error for debug info. It's standard error is for things that don't pipe to the next thing in the process. That's what it's for. I mean, it does make sense. It is in the name, standard error. But I think of it more as file descriptor 2 that happens to be named standard error because, yeah. But I definitely think of it more as alt myself. Okay, was there anything else in there that I wanted to have? Ah, I understand your philosophy. I just don't like it. Good. I appreciate that. We can agree to disagree. Civilly. Draw your sword! I challenge you to a duel. We'll settle this in the civilized manner. Let's see whose is bigger. Ow! I'm going to cut myself. That was a self-fulfilling prophecy, because just as I picked it up, I thought, what if I cut myself? I hate it when that happens. Anyway. Ha! 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 Oh. There we go. No. Not my face. There we go. That's what I've got. Who wins the argument? All right. So is this still building and everything works? Yep. Okay, great. So let me just run a quick test. Pew pew. A 2.99 inch, just under 3 inches, I see. Don't make me lift my pant leg. And a 5 inch. Yeah, you win. Well, actually, hold on. Wait a minute. Is it? Am I allowed to get out of the chair? Okay. Because if I'm allowed to get out of the chair, I have an insulation knife. It looks like a fillet knife of some sort, but it clearly says Husky on it, and it's covered in fiberglass dust particles. It is an insulation knife. Now I regret that. Now my hand's covered in fiberglass dust particles. I'm going to Windex that. That's how I'm going to rectify that decision, because I have Windex and paper towels right here. So my solution to that problem is indeed I'm going to spray Windex on my hand. Because Windex is wet, and the fiberglass will stick to the Windex. But wait, you say, AJ, you don't want Windex on your hands. That'll dry out your hands. And to that I say, I also have men's essential body and hands everyday moisture for dry skin ultimate gold bond essentials. Did I already say essentials? It actually doesn't say that. Oh, hydrating lotion. Okay. It had that in a hairline font. There we go. Whew. Oh, you'd have to reach in the back seat? Oh, all right. I'll allow that. Okay, but wait. I don't think this beats your 5 inch. But dang. This one's pretty nice, yeah? I don't know if that would really be the right way to use this. I used to carry this around in my pocket every day. It's so much bigger than I remember. Because I've gotten used to this one. I love this one. Whoop, did I just expose all my keys? I exposed my private keys. Cut the stream. Turn it off. Redact. I hope that there wasn't a still frame in there that was long enough for you to get the key to my trailer or What does this one go to? Oh, that's also a key to the trailer. Yeah. I've got my trailer keys on here because those are my exclusive keys. I need to get. Is it? I think the other one. No, the other one. No, they're both trailer keys. One's for the back of the trailer. One's for the hitch. I haven't used it in a while though. Keys were under the chat overlay. All right. Okay. So, org list records. Should be org with token, not sudo with token. I don't know why the highlighting's gone wrong. Okay. Did I just have some debug output here that I forgot to... Oh, I did a T. Okay, that kind of makes sense. I think that's what I actually wanted to do. Success true, result null. That's not what I expect. What do I expect? Account ID. So let me go double check this. Did it Okay. All right, so let's see. There's me. What about org? I think that I should get rid of this orgs. Okay, what's all the stuff that goes through here? So claims, account ID, party ID key. Okay, let me go look at this again. Org ID key. I don't know what this is. I'm going to answer real quick. I think it's Snow Crash. Yeah. It's either Snow Crash or a fax machine. I'm not sure. All right, so I think this whole thing might need... Fax machine is a dirty word. You could, yeah. That's true. No, my trailer lock would not be hard to pick. And the four-wheeler is very, very simple to hotwire. And I think if you jiggled it just right, you could probably get the hitch to go on with the lock. Well, no, I don't think you can. I don't think the tolerances are good enough. Maybe if you try to put it on a ball that was slightly too small. Wait, why did I say deprecated authenticated? Why did I say that? Ah. Yeah, I think that this whole bit probably should be moved out and just be made a slightly conditional. I see why I did it this way. I remember now. Okay. All right, let me try this bit by bit. Party ID, org ID, context. Okay, great. No new variables on the left side. Okay. And this is actually more sensible here. Bad org ID. Okay. So I think this whole block is a better block. I think I need a way to encapsulate this. Because this is actually duplicate code that's similar enough that it probably makes sense to actually separate it out. Hey everybody, how's it going? What's up, chat? If it's a Honda, they only have 4 to 5 cuts depending on the year. Yeah, there's not very many cuts on the Honda. You mean on the key, the depth of the key? Yeah, but I mean, also you literally just reach underneath of the key and you just, just take a paper clip and it's not rocket science. Half debugging an issue. Yeah, I'm only half watching myself. Okay. I need a little bit more room to see everything on the screen. Sorry, folks. I'm making it smaller. Okay. Okay, so background. So I think this whole chunk of code, if I'm not mistaken, I think that whole chunk of code can replace this whole chunk of code from about right here. And then retain parity. Or maybe not. Get party information, that's party ID. And then, but this is for an org, right? No, this is require individual auth. Okay, so not that one. But this one does have a submitted by and a submitted as, so I'm actually going to say, oh, whoops. R equals R with context for R, sure. So I'm actually going to say, and as much as the by and as are pretty darn similar, let's look for where there's a sub down here, and I think this could all be the same. And the next time I have to do something with this, okay, this also has email. Where did email come from? Email comes from if the email is verified. Okay. There's no org. But there is an email. That's going to be the as ID. Hey, we've had 100 messages today. That's insane. That's a ton of messages. Has it really been that many? 100? Wow. Thanks, everybody. Particularly Dave, Josue, Yorun. Y'all keeping the chat happening. All right, that was a little not me, but we'll go with it. All right, so now this is there. Okay, good. All right, now let's try running that inspect again. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit this button. And that is absolutely the wrong text. Should be... Okay, so I'll deploy this again, and then I'll feel a little bit better knowing that I've tested this. Okay, org inspect, and then let's try, whoops, me inspect, whoops, chmod. Okay, that looks good. And then we should be able to do the sudo I need a better way to go about this in general. Okay, so the sudo auth, this kind of makes sense. There is no associated user data. Let me just double check on how that is being accomplished. Okay. Okay, so let's say that require sudo actually does have to go in here, for example. Okay, let's make sure I'm using the right party ID key in the right places here. So this one is require auth or org auth, so that makes sense. Hold on. That one's, yeah, okay, so it makes sense that that's org. And does it make sense that this is that? It makes sense that that is individual. Yeah, I don't know why I did it that way. That was ambiguous. I don't like doing ambiguous things, generally speaking. Okay, and that makes sense that that is as. Okay, that looks right. All right, let's see if everything still compiles. And it looks like it did. Okay, so now let's run sudo inspect again. Okay, I see where that didn't go the way that we expected. Okay, so now this should not generate an error, but it should work for tokens that don't have much information. Okay, still generating an error. I don't know if it actually finished deploying before I ran it again. Deploying. It's finished restarting, that's what I meant to say. Okay, bad sub. Sudo inspect, API sudo. Okay, I actually don't like that. Interesting. Did I declare error somewhere else? That's new. So error values can be implicitly declared now? Okay, oh, sound died. All right, yeehaw! That's one for David. Okay, I see sound on my end. Oh, there's none of that sound. Hold on. Oh, y'all haven't been listening to the background music with me. How sad. Okay. Now the sound's coming through. How do I structure my Golang REST APIs? Well, that's what I'm working on right now. Project structure, to be exact. File structure? Well, this is what I'd recommend, actually. There's another video that talks about this. If you go to creedsofcraftsmanship.com, there is a Golang section. creedsofcraftsmanship.com. Let me plop that over to you. Lego Logic. Hey, I remember you. So there's Creeds of Craftsmanship. And there's a Golang section that says, for learning Go, my list of best Golang resources. Right there. And then from there, I would select the How I Write Web Services After 8 Years of Go. This is the one that quit watching me and go watch this instead. But I will give you a brief, which is that all of the routing goes in one file, and all of the authentication is tied to the routing, and everything else goes in other files. So you can see here, and I don't know that I've got the naming structure quite right, and it's not consistent in this because I've been changing it as I've been working around different things, but you can see orgs, sudo list, individual sudo list, etc. So if something is privileged, the function doesn't check. I don't have each of these functions checking the permissions. The permissions are checked at the route level. So I have user routes, account routes, sudo routes, meaning back office, super user, support staff, system. So those routes are separate, and then we have public routes as well. And so gatekeepers at the gate, doorkeepers at the door. That's the way I look at it. So gatekeepers are the broad gatekeepers. Anything that is under sudo will require that the token has those correct permissions, and so on and so forth with all the other ones. If it's an org token, if it's an org route, it requires a token with org permissions. If it's a user route, it requires a token with user permissions, and so on. If it's a public route, it doesn't require anything. There's also guest routes, which could be either authenticated or unauthenticated. The rules are a little bit more complex for the guest routes. But within that, if the query or the data is substantially different between the way that a super user is going to be able to do it and someone else is going to be able to do it, then it's just two separate functions. I don't like to have a lot of branching logic. I'd rather have two functions that are similar with some differences rather than have one function where there's a lot of if-else and trying to shape this and shape that. A little copying is better than a little complexity. So when you go to abstract something, just, yeah. But this is relevant to the file structure because it is. Also, I think SQL-C makes it really, really easy to get your models right, where you don't have a lot of interdependency between the models. SQL-C just auto-generates it from the SQL, and it doesn't, and it stays close to the SQL. It doesn't try to be an abstract thing. It just tries to be, this is for representative of queries, and so every query is going to have a different object that goes in as parameters, and I think that's all right. And yeah, then you, because if you try to do an ORM, especially in Go, it's just going to be rough. It's just going to be hard. I don't recommend ORMs. And if you listen to the book Clean Architecture by Uncle Bob, he talks about the problems with ORMs. Yeah, I don't like ORMs. I don't think that they solve a problem that we have. ORMs create problems, and this is what I mean. An ORM is designed to make it so that you can use an application with lots of different databases with similar characteristics. So instead of having a nice facade that isn't really aware of all of the characteristics of SQL, you end up with something that's really, really, really highly specific to SQL, but dumbed down to the point where it can't really benefit from it. So you have to have all of the knowledge of SQL, and then you don't get any of the benefit of SQL. And that just, it's really weird. And they seem to be designed so that people can have open source projects that have many different databases are going to be connected to them. But the truth of the matter is, the database, the storage layer, if the storage layer of your application can be abstracted, then fine. Have a facade there. Let there be a plugin. But don't have a hard dependency on this ORM where if somebody is, so set on using something other than Postgres, they've got some really amazing reason that they want to use some other database. If there's an ORM and that database doesn't, or the ORM doesn't allow them to access any of that database's features or get any of the benefit of that database, then what purpose does the ORM serve? So it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, oh, well, I'm a noob and therefore I think I'm really cool because I use MySQL, and my dog told me that I should have more SQL in MySQL, so I put some SQL in MySQL, dog. Okay, but how does that benefit anything? It's kind of like, oh, this is my pet database. To be honest, if somebody builds a product and they used an MS SQL database, I really don't care if the product is bundled with an MS SQL database. I used to when I was stupid, because I used to think, oh, we got to use open source databases. Well, if it's using MS SQL, it's probably not an open source product in the first place, right? And if it is open source, running two databases isn't a big deal. If you've got some sort of service or product or thing you're using and it uses MySQL, yeah, okay, it might make you throw up in your mouth a little bit, but it's, the thing will work the way that it's designed to work. And then same thing with Postgres. Maybe you don't like Postgres. Maybe you don't like databases that are fast and efficient, that have good error messages, and are easy to use and easy to learn and have great tools. Maybe that's just not your thing. But if somebody wrote their service and it's designed to work with Postgres, you don't lose anything by just running an instance of Postgres, So the problem that an ORM is solving is a problem that doesn't exist. Because other than if you just say, well, I like RockDB because I like RockDB, I think that's a database, one of the new ones or something. If you don't have any reason to use it, if there's nothing special about it, if it has no benefit, then why would you choose it over anything else? So if the purpose of the ORM is to get rid of the differences and therefore get rid of the benefits, get rid of the advantages of the other database, that it's a self-defeating solution. That's why I've come around to not like ORMs. And I do like SQL C. I think that SQL C hits the mark. The only thing that SQL C doesn't hit the mark on is that it's suffering from that same open source problem that I just talked about, where they are trying now to appeal to other databases. They used to be just Postgres, and now they're trying to appeal to other languages. It used to be just Go, and I'm all good for having a JSON output, but I think that they need to just let people write their own language adapters and focus on doing what they do well rather than trying to be everything to everyone, because then it loses its advantages. So for example, in the new v2 config, you can't choose to output SQL nulls as struct pointers instead. So it means that you have one more layer of data where you kind of just have to copy things. So, there's some stuff like that where this is a problem in open source. Is people think the currency that I have is that people are going to use my thing because it's compatible with their thing. And I want more people to use my thing because that's the only thing I'm getting out of this, is feeling good about myself for people using my thing. And I just think that leads to poor software. I really think we need to find a way to get people paid for their work and allow them to do better work on one thing. Now, hypocrite, I participate in this problem. But I recognize it's a problem, and I do want to move past it. It's just hard. I don't have the really good solution either. So yeah. So that's that. And actually, so Josh, that'll make a good clip. And I will answer this other question too in the same vein. Even in Node, you don't use any ORM? No, I don't. What am I doing in Node in the project that I'm... Nah, I just pick a database, and I think that the SQL C approach is the right approach. I believe I'm going to start using SQL C for Node as well. In the next project, or when I pick up my previous payments project, because a lot of stuff I do in Node doesn't use a database, because I'm doing libraries and lower level stuff. But I think I'm going to use SQL C and then just write a little CRUD generator, because that seems to be the simplest approach. Just learn that SQL is a valuable skill in of itself. SQL is a valuable skill. And so if you learn the base technology, learn the basics, rather than, the ORMs add all this complexity. So you have to learn the basics to understand what the complexity is doing. Plus you have to learn the complexity. So I think SQL C is really the right solution, where you write SQL and it generates either JSON or code, and you could use the JSON to generate code, and you can have your database layer have a light facade on it, and you just call a function, and the function does stuff, and that the function represents a query, but you're not using a query builder. That's something else is really interesting about SQL C. It's a very different take on the way that we traditionally have done query building. Is you want to concatenate strings together, and you want to you want to try to extend your where clause, and when you use SQL C, you start taking advantages of the coalesce function, which basically is default values. So if you just pass in null for a query, I could show you here. So coal. So you can see right here. And you could do this in the programming code as well, and I think I might actually do that as I might switch to that. But so if we want to query, you just construct your query in such a way that a default value is appropriate, right? So we're going to say where type is this, and ID is less than ZZZZZZZZ. So ZZZZZZZ is the highest possible value, unless it's, I don't think it's 99999. I actually gotta check on that real quick. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Char code at 0 versus 9 versus Z. Forgive me, for I have sinned. I'm glad we went through that together. Thank you. So this would be, I think that it's uppercase anyway. So I'm pretty sure this is case insensitive, so it doesn't matter. But lowercase z actually comes after uppercase z. But this is essentially defining a default value. So if in this SQL C arg, this would be like a $sign kind of thing, like $3, but it's just because of the way that it is trying to infer the typing that it didn't work out or something. And so it was basically saying value X, or value number 2, or it had some generic name. And so I went in here and gave it the appropriate name because it was trying to figure out between, I don't know how it was used. It couldn't figure out what it was that I was trying to use it for. So anyway, I did that, but SQL C replaces these with the $signs, but it uses it as metadata. Anyway, point is, if I pass in null here, then what this becomes is Z. So then I have default values. So rather than having a query builder where I'm having complex where clauses where I'm adding and subtracting, well, not subtracting, but I'm adding or not adding to the where clause, you just fill out the where clauses, and then you have default values that will always return true immediately, right? So yeah, it makes it slower. It's going to have to check the first byte of every column where there's a where. Is that really significantly slower? It could be. I don't know. I'd have to, performance tune it. But if there was some case where that was really significantly slower, it's probably because, an index was missing. But let's say everything is right. Well, then I would just copy this and I would paste it, and I'd make a version without the where clause, and then I'd name it something else. So I think SQL C has the right approach. In scene. Okay. Josh, I think that will make a good one. And I need to go tag him real quick, because our process is broken down with the recordings and stuff, and I need to make a couple changes to get that working again as it should. Another few good clips in today's 2 videos. One is only on YouTube due to a recording error. All right, I need to fix that. All right, it is 6:25. Okay, what am I doing here? So, sudo inspect. Do I get back to my result? I do get back my result. It's coming out twice. Why is it coming out twice? That concerns me. I think, could it be that I am writing the body twice? Let's try this. Oops. I think I am probably writing the body. Whoops. No. Dang it. What am I doing? What the letter L am I doing? There we go. Okay, I need to change something here. I think I need to start the context higher, say up here, and then I need to have these bits that add the context values as they appear. I don't really like this though. Oh, okay. That was what the double send right there. I don't really like this though. But I don't really want to do a whole bunch of checks all over the place, you know? Can we keep it simple? But the other thing is that I just add a bunch of if statements for, well, if it actually got this, then do this. It seems like it might be simpler just to put it in the right place than to do all that. Old ID. Where's old ID needed? It's needed there too. Wait. Okay. That's probably in more than one place that I made that mistake. Yeah, it looks like I made that mistake here too. Did I make that? And I made that mistake here. And I made that mistake here. You say, AJ, dry that up. It's so wet. Dry it up. And I say, yeah, once I understand it better. Because I'm still changing it. And I still have stuff that needs to be removed, and that, like I say, it's better to have a little copying than a little complexity. And with this, the rules for how I want to do this are actually different. The sudo token doesn't have to have a user, but if it has a user, I want to grab it. The user and the account tokens do have to have a user. So it's a different set of rules. And if I had to have all that if logic, then it'd just be really complicated. Okay, so result is null. Can we do an omit empty on that? Let's see. Result. I think I got some of that fiberglass on me. I might just be imagining it. It might be real. Result. Omit empty. Interface is never empty. Okay. That's why. Because I'm thinking, well, it's null, but an interface is never nil unless it is. So you can return nil as a value for an interface, but when you receive a value that's an interface, it's never nil. This is one of the biggest gotchas I think in Go, and I still don't know off the top of my head. This is one of those things where when I encounter it, I have to look it up. I still don't know off the top of my head what's the solution for that. I need to have that in my cheat sheet. Next time I encounter it, it's going into my cheat sheet. Ah! All right, it's time to take the trash out. Just 1 second here. Hold on 1 second. No, did I do it? Did I do it? Okay. So, yeah, I got to get off here soon. But I wanted to, get something here. Ben. On chmod. There we go. And then do we have a, yeah, we did the me, and then so now we just need the thing that's the nothing, right? I also wish there was a debug option. There might be that if you call write twice, well, I guess in a lot of cases, write's just a writer. HTTP write is just a writer, so it makes sense that it's the way that it is. But I kind of wish that there was a way to specify. Well, I guess I could just write a wrapper around it. But if you call it twice, that's an error. Okay, so we need API public. What? Oh, right. Right. Oh, and I need one more thing in that. Let's see. The phone needs two volumes. It needs a ringer volume and an application volume, and those need to be distinct. You know, because it's really weird to me when the alarm goes, because the alarm should have its own volume. If your volume is off, the alarm volume shouldn't be low, because I'd never turn the ringer on ever. I couldn't tell you the last time I turned the ringer on purpose. I think it may have been years. So, but when I have an alarm, I want it to go off. But if I was just listening to music loudly, I don't want the alarm to go off loudly. Does that make sense? It feels like what I was last doing in an application is unrelated to the primary function of the phone as a notification device. That's what I'm saying. Notifications, communication of an event is different from playing a hyper casual game or listening to some music. It's that my expectations for volume are different. Diffna. You get me? You feel me? All right, I need to wrap up on this. Oops. And I'm gonna have to reboot. I'm gonna have to reboot my computer because something got hung up and certain apps aren't opening or closing. Okay. Okay. What am I doing here? Okay, I've got that. Oh, I remember what I was going to do next. I maybe need to go over to the other one here for a second. There needs to be a public as well. So basically, oh, I think I know what I did wrong on that one. I will explain. So I had the handle path up above where I think it should have come down below. I'm not sure what the sorting is, but I had the longer path in the wrong place. So that the I can show this. Let me just bring this over here. So it stands to reason. Oh, never mind. That actually wasn't the problem. But I was going to say it stands to reason. API public v2 that I thought I was doing /v2/public. That was not what I was doing. Okay, so public path sudo path user v2 goes to me, account v2 goes to org, and then just whatever else goes there, however it gets there. Okay. So I thought that I was having the short path first, so it's matching on the shortest path first, and then matching on the other stuff later, but that's not actually what was happening, so never mind. Okay, so sudo all right, so that's done. And now I've got version information and stuff. So let me just make sure this is actually, yeah, it actually did build and everything. Okay, so from there, I guess I get back into this thing, I pull, I build again. Seems like that took a really long time. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so now let's try this again. That's not what I was expecting. Well, we're getting something different, but I'm really confused about what and why. I want to take a look at this just raw. Let's try version. Really not sure what to think about this here. API public version. Okay, let's try this though. Let's try v2 public version. V2 version. All right, so bad gateway all around. That makes me think that the deploy didn't go smoothly. Failed to start. Okay, did I send the wrong binary format? We have a problem. I got a problem with AL2. Man, rough day. CGO enabled equals 0. That's what we need. Stop. Missing end if. What is it talking about? What is it talking about? Oh, and not export, but export, not exports. Okay, I'm just going to have to delete and just get rid of AL for right now because it's broken somehow. I don't know what's going on. Wait a minute. Okay. There we go. That's, I don't know what's going on with AL, but I'll figure it out later, I'm sure. Oh, it's probably a Unicode character. Could be a Unicode character. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can fix that real quick. There it is. I have to figure out about that. I thought I'd chosen ones that were in the simpler set, but I guess I had not. Okay, now it's not going to give me so much grief. Okay. So build, vendor, blah, 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 blah. Go mod generate. Okay, we can get rid of the generate. We can just go for the build. We could also do this. Okay, there we go. Now with that, all right, snooze this one more time, then I gotta go. Okay, so with that, we can rsync. Whoops, we can rsync this from the server to temp. We can rsync it from temp to the other server. And then we can rsync it to the place it's supposed to go. We can restart it. And then we can do a little test. 404 not found. Let me make sure. doing something wrong? So it should be capturing whatever comes after the star. So if what comes after the star is public. Oh, what's up, Shemact? When does the hosting launch? Yes, thanks for bringing up BNNA. So the data center, our cabinet should be ready either on Friday or Monday. So cabinet's going to be ready soon. But we're a month out, essentially. So the cabinet's going to be ready. The servers are here. There's a couple of parts that when we got everything together, it's like, oh, we need a couple of extra cables that we didn't get. There's a few things that we need to figure out. Just little details like that, and we have to work on the billing, and we have to work on the API. I still have to do the Ubuntu image. I've got the Alpine image. The billing stuff should be relatively simple. There's a lot of front end work that needs to be done. It's I feel like this project needs more front end work than back end work, which is hilarious considering that it's a server cluster. But most of the stuff is already built in terms of it's just off the shelf. If you wanted to build DigitalOcean, that's kind of what we're doing. If you wanted to build that, the software is there. You need to write stuff to manage user quotas and billing. That's what you would need to write. That's what we need to write. So we will be doing a VPX service. So kind of a hybrid approach between VPS and container, getting the best of both worlds in terms of performance and in terms of pricing, in terms of resource availability. But yeah, I am hoping to get some servers up in the data center next week. But we'll see. We'll see. I think what we're going to do, we're going to get things set up. We may actually go with 2 clusters, one for testing and one for, to become the production cluster when we get there. But it's coming. What are you interested in about it? What most strikes your fancy about it? Okay, API public v2. API sudo. API me, API org. Oh, whoopsie-lo. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? That was subtle. I get why it worked that way, because the slash is here. We're matching everything after the slash. That was subtle. Okay, now I know what it was. One thing that I don't like about Caddy is the lack of good syntax highlighting. Oh, we do have some syntax highlighting here now. But yeah, we don't have good syntax highlighting for Caddy. That's one thing that bugs me. It's difficult. I mean, it should be easy to see. Oh, look at that. Maybe there is good syntax highlighting for Caddy. I'm just going to do a search for that real quick. Let's search for Vim Caddy. Has somebody done it yet? $7 years ago. Dang it. Well, it's going to be similar. I don't know. That makes me sad. The tooling makes the man. We need better tooling. All right, sudo system control, restart. And then let's try this again. No! All right, let's try this. Okay, why does one work and the other one doesn't work? Let's try this. Okay, good. So at least we know there's something going on here that's not quite right. So this stuff is working. This is working. This is not working. How is this working, but this is not working? This is where I'm confused. I've got a couple of other thoughts, actually. No? Do I have other thoughts? I don't know if I've got other thoughts. I just wish I could see what is that rerouting to, and maybe I can. Okay, look, we're seeing the double slash there. So we're seeing that same double slash. Why? You see that again? Okay. So what happened? Another thought. Did I not restart Caddy? Ayo! Alrighty. And with that, it's time to go. So thanks for joining in. Catch you later. I have to go take the trash. Alright. Got one other thing I gotta do. And let's get y'all over to a raid. How about that? Got anybody you want to see? I'm going to check and see if there's anybody popping up my list. Shit Strager! I'm going to check and see if there's anybody popping up my list. Shit Strager! We've also got a dead mouse. Somebody's doing an RPG in Unity. That sounds interesting. East Shade Studios. Let's try that one. Alright. Raid has been created, y'all. Okay. So thanks for joining in. Have a good one. And I'm going to head out. Okay? Adios. Oh, whoops. That was meant to be the end.